Hey guys, thanks for joining me for a new video. As you can see, it's another dark and rainy day here in Virginia, but fortunately we're gonna be inside anyways working on the computer. Today, I wanna show you a real example of how I might go about finding a niche that's in high demand for Amazon merch, then creating a design, and then uploading it and doing my keyword optimizations. So I'm gonna try to give you a real insight into how I might go about doing this in my real time if you guys weren't, looking over my shoulder at this video. So I might move a little quickly and take some shortcuts, but that's really what I'm doing behind the scenes anyways. Well, I'm doing a lot more automation and scaling behind the scenes too, but if I was just gonna choose one t-shirt and one design to do, I'm gonna show you exactly how I go about doing that in this video. And I'm gonna even give you a little preview real quick that my buddy at Detour Shirts, remember I did an interview with him. If you missed that, I'll put a link right here. You can go check that out, but he does a weekly top niche of the week on his Instagram, similar to my top 5 niches. I don't know who started first, but clearly you guys are loving it. So definitely go check him out on Instagram as well, because I'm going to be using his niche suggestion for this video. So the niche research part is already settled. I'm just going to use his suggestion. I've already done some validation there and it looks like it's ready to go. But I'm going to put his Instagram in the description as well. Go show him some love, and I'm going to go jump on my computer. We can get started. Thanks again for joining me, guys. This is going to be a full spectrum demo of the niche research, validation, design, and upload process. Real quick, before we dive into things, let me introduce myself. If this is your first time on my channel, welcome. I'm Ryan Hogue. I've sold over $1.8 million on Amazon to date. 260,000 have come through Amazon merch. If you want to follow the links in the description, I've got a free Amazon merch 7-day mini course delivered to your inbox, 1 lesson a day. I've also got an Amazon merch Facebook community. I'd love to have you there. And if you didn't know, I publish income reports on the first day of each month. You can follow my progress as a print-on-demand Amazon merch seller, FBA seller, KDP seller. I put it all out there. And if you want to subscribe, again, you'll get those updates. And last but not least, I wrote a full Amazon merch course. It's over 60 lectures. I'm constantly expanding it. If you would like to join, there is a link in the description to find more about the opportunity. All right, let's dive into things. So first things first, niche research. I already hinted that there's no way to do niche research incorrectly. Like, niche research, it comes in so many different shapes and sizes. For instance, I've talked about how a lot of my biggest successes slapped me in the face out of nowhere. Like, my biggest trends that have made me the most amount of money in the shortest period of time, I didn't set out to find a trend. They just presented themselves organically. And when I saw them, I was ready to capitalize on them. This, on the other hand, is more of a, let's just say, this may be a trending design, but I'm definitely not first to it. I would just call this a niche that is currently in high demand, that is relatively seasonal. And the way that I found this specific niche is by looking at Instagram at my buddy Juna over at Detour Shirts. He's got over 17,000 followers. And if you're not following him, he's one of the best print-on-demand follows on Instagram, in my opinion. And he gives out free niches on occasion, weekly, and he gives you t-shirt trends that he researches, validates, and everybody's loving it. Obviously, he's got 17,000 followers, so I mean, it kind of speaks for itself. But if you're not following him, I've got a link in the description. Go ahead and do that. I mean, it's free, right? He's doing the research for you. So I love this idea. It's a play on words for something that Donald Trump had been, I guess, accused of, or maybe they had a recording of him saying it in the past, and it was, one of those points of contention, I think, when he was running against Hillary. Didn't make too big of a difference because I guess everybody hated Hillary that much. But hey, like I said, we don't talk politics on this channel. As a niche, before we go designing it, this is one of the worst mistakes you can make. Go check the trademark, and it's not trademarked, but you can pretty much figure out if it's trademarked very quickly. If you just use my search merch tool, type in the keywords here, and then click search whatever product type you want to sell on. I click t-shirts, and I've got 261 results. So this is a safe niche to sell on Amazon via Amazon merch. Don't skip that step. I've done this in the past when I was new to Amazon merch, where I would go do a design, do the whole upload process, and then at the last second be like, oh yeah, I didn't check if it's trademarked, or I didn't check if it's safe, because sometimes something's not trademarked, but it's still not safe to sell on Amazon merch, which is why when people ask me, hey Ryan, is this okay to upload? I always say, honestly, it doesn't even matter if it's on Amazon, if it's on Redbubble, Etsy, wherever. Go check the marketplace for that product. If it doesn't exist, chances are, unless this is a brand new niche, brand new trend, you're not first for a reason. Like, chances are it's not okay to sell. And if you see 261 results, which is not too many, then this is a great opportunity to make some money, especially when you look at the BSRs here. You've got 531,000, 181,000, 471,000, 299, basically 300K. So those are all good BSRs. I mean, I like to attack BSRs under 1 million if it's evergreen. If it's like a trending, time-sensitive design, under 500K is a good indicator. But also, I mean, unless you're glued to your TV or your news apps and you're constantly following the news, we don't know how new this niche really is. Who knows? Maybe it's going to pick up steam in the next month or 2 months, as we head into the election. So you want to position yourself to capitalize on some of those sales. So I like this niche. Let's move forward. All right, part 2, step 2, we need to create the design. We need to create an original design. And I'm going to use my friends at All American Graphics, from the makers of All Sunsets. They got basically they're constantly expanding it, but it's just a bundle of graphics related to the 2020 election, America. There's a lot of uses, obviously. If you're selling on Amazon.com, by the way, that represents the US market. So there's a lot of ways you can take these graphics. They're pre-made. You only have to make them your own. I think some people get confused by what that means. If you just add text, you've made it your own. It's okay to sell at that point. So that's what I'm going to be doing in this demo. So let me open up Photoshop and we can get started on that. So here in Photoshop, just so you guys know, I typically have a Photoshop template that I launch whenever I'm doing an Amazon merch design. It comes optimized at my preferred dimensions of 4,500 pixels wide by 5,400 pixels tall. It also has my white and black backgrounds built in, and it has my grunge pattern built in if I want to distress something. Also, just letting you guys know up front that this design that I'm going to make, if you want to skip ahead in the video 2 minutes, I've already kind of shown this approach of how I'm going to go about doing this. So if you guys already caught that video, you may want to just skip it. If you missed that video, you can also find a slower walkthrough. I'm going to put it in the YouTube cards right here, so you can go check out that video right afterwards. But just to start off, like I said, I've got a bunch of the graphics from All American Graphics downloaded right here so that I don't have to go back to the website every time I want to use one. And what I'm thinking is I might just use a nice little circular American flag pattern to make this design. So I'm going to position it about center there, and then I want to make some curved text. I think that helps you stand out just a little bit. So again, I've done this in a separate tutorial, but I'm going to use the ellipse tool, and I'm going to make a circle around this design right here, and then I'm going to add text. So let me then click the text tool and position it over top of where you see the very top middle of that circle. You'll see a little squiggle go through the text tool, and that is indicating that when I type, it will go around in a circle. So again, we are going to use the trend, grab him by the ballot. So I'm going to say grab him by the, and maybe let me make this a little bit smaller text, and let me grab the path selection tool and rotate this to the top. I don't know why it wasn't centered initially. Actually, you know what? Maybe I can just center the text. I think that might have been the issue. Yep, had it left aligned. All right. This isn't going perfectly as planned, but let me just rotate this using the path selection tool, and there we go. Got it up top like I need it. Now I'm going to hide that. I'm going to draw one more ellipsis here. I'm going to hold shift so that it's a perfect circle. And this one, I'm planning on putting text at the bottom. And what I'm thinking is part of making this design my own is I'm going to add the date. Did that work? So normally when I add text to the bottom, I type it up top and then I rotate it. So I'll do it the way that I know works. All right, so November 4th. All right, there we go. Maybe I'll tighten that up with horizontal spacing, like -25 pixels. I like that. Now I'm going to use the path selection tool again, rotate it down to the bottom, and then I'm going to use, I don't even know what this is called, honestly. It's like the A with the arrow pointing up above it. If I hover over it, okay, it's called baseline shift, and I'm going to set that at like -120 or so. You can play around with this value as needed. All right, that looks pretty good to me. Now let me re-enable the top text. All right, that's pretty much what I was trying to do there. So it says grab him by the November 4th. It's over the American flag graphic. And the last thing I'll probably do is add some text over the middle. And we'll make the word ballot like really big. So at least twice as big as the text that we have above and below. Grab him by the ballot. And what's cool is you can like right click that layer, go to blending options. You can add like a stroke if you want, maybe add the red stroke. I think that looks pretty good. I've got it set to 25 pixels, so it's a pretty thick stroke. Maybe experiment with like, what if I did blue? That also looks good, probably looks better. And maybe I make the stroke a little bit thicker since these are really big text. The text is so big. Maybe make it a little bit bigger, maybe like 700, and tighten up the horizontal spacing there. I think that looks best like that. Basically, I just want it to be big, bold, easy to read. So grab him by the ballot. What if I move that down? No, I don't think that looks as good. Just that's about good. And you can obviously, this is all subjective, so feel free to disagree and tell me there's a better way of doing this in the comments below. I'm definitely like, my friend John, he's in the comments of most of my videos, and he's got like the yellow avatar, and he's a real graphic designer, so I'm sure he can come at this design from a whole nother angle and probably knock it out of the park and probably make his own graphics. I'm basically sticking to my strengths. I'm not claiming that I'm a great graphic designer. That's why I lean on my friends at All Sunsets and All American Graphics. By the way, you can get a year license to their website for like $20 for the American Graphics, and All Sunsets is $27. So I call that just a no-brainer. I use those graphics in pretty much all my designs nowadays. So this is all I'm going to do. I might align everything up to the top just like this, because I like my designs closer to the top of the canvas. And you know what else you could do, actually, since I always say I like it big and bold? I mean, why not just maximize the canvas space usage? So basically, it looks like the vertical is going to hit the top and the bottom before the width does. Fine. How about that? That looks pretty darn good. By the way, the font I'm using, I didn't mention, but I've talked about it before. It's called Edmund Texture. It's also one of the more popular ones on Canva because it's pre-distressed. So that's it. So then I will turn off the background and export this. By the way, you could also add a stroke to the letters that are outside of the circle so that you could also sell this design on like a white background t-shirt and lighter background t-shirts as well. Just throwing that out there as an idea. Now we're over here at Amazon Merch. We're on step 3. This is uploading the design to the product creation wizard and selecting products that we want it to be available for sale on, as well as different marketplaces. However, as you can imagine, this is related to the US market and it's very niche. It's related to Trump. Not that I'm sure people overseas know who Trump is, but like they might not be as familiar with his quotes or whatnot. So this is definitely a design that I would recommend selling on US market only, because that's going to have your highest likelihood of success. And by default, you may have seen multiple checkboxes selected. So the first thing I always do is I deselect everything. Then I just come here and I check the product type that I want, which is .com marketplace standard t-shirt. So next thing, I'm going to edit details, and I'm going to, so here's the thing. I don't like to, if I'm selling anything Trump related, I don't like to check the youth checkbox, because I know Amazon can be weird about sometimes rejecting submissions that are Trump related with youth sizing. So I just don't do that because I don't want to chance it. All right, next thing that I'm going to do is select different colors that I think look okay. So I'm going to aim for like darker colors, definitely red. Both reds probably look good. Green looks good. The heathers do really well. The light gray maybe isn't the best looking, so maybe I'll uncheck that, do green. Royal blue looks great, and purple is 1 over the limit, so we'll end it there. All right, next we need to add a price. So if I was in tier 10, I'd probably just list it at 13.07, where I'd make $0. However, since I'm in tier 100,000, I might as well make a little bit of money. I might just do like $13.99, but essentially I'm aiming to sell it for a low price just to at least lock in the first sale. Because if you get that first sale, guys, it stays on Amazon forever. And guess what? When you get a sale, you signal to the algorithm like, okay, somebody searched for these keywords and bought that product. Maybe we should increase the organic rank of that product when someone searches for those keywords again, right? It's not that complicated. Like, programming this stuff is definitely complicated, but what's really going on behind the scenes in the code is pretty straightforward to understand, hopefully. So Yeah, that we want to, and again, who knows what the algorithm doesn't know is what went through the person's mind that bought the product. They've got some indicators, like they know that they typed in the keywords, they know that they clicked our listing and not our competitor's listing, etc. What they don't know is why. So maybe it's just that we had the best price point. So that's why coming in low, at least trying to lock in that first sale, is a really good strategy in my opinion. All right, now we scroll down here and we need to provide at least a title and a brand at a minimum. So what I'm going to do is for the title, just say grab, what do we say? Grab him by the ballot. Did I mess that up? Did I already? All right, I had to make sure that I didn't mess up the niche there. I had to look off screen, but this is what the actual niche is. It is grab him by the ballot. So it's not grab her by the, which I was second guessing myself, like, is that what it was supposed to be? So here we go with the title. Well, first I'm going to say the brand. I'm just going to say grab him by the ballot November 4th. So basically I'm just going to say what's in the design. I mean, keep it simple, guys. Then I'm going to take that. I'm going to put it in the title. And you can also, since I've got 25 characters remaining, we can try to get indexed on some additional keywords and phrases that you think someone might search that would be relevant to our listing. But keep in mind, like, be realistic with me. What are the keywords and phrases that we're going to add? It's going to be like anti-Trump or Biden 2020 or vote Democrat. It's going to be things that already have a million results indexed on those keywords that will be ranking ahead of us, because they've already been on Amazon selling on those keywords. So including those extra terms, it's not going to help that much. I just want to be upfront about that. Like, Amazon's not going to allow us to outrank products that have already been there when we're brand new with no sales history. But at the same time, it's like, we've got 25 characters. You might as well use them. So I'm going to say, comma, anti-Trump, pro-Biden. Anti-Trump, comma, pro-Biden. I mean, you can also just make this up. If you wanted to actually go do research, you can type those into Amazon and see the volume returned. But the thing is, like, Amazon stopped even telling us how many actual results there are, and they'll just say, like, results 1 through 48 of more than 2,000, of more than 10,000. So it's definitely going to be a lot. I wouldn't really even waste time researching. Just put something. You could even say, like, comma, vote Democrat 2020, or maybe like anti-Donald Trump quote, something like that. Whatever comes to mind. Like anti-Donald Trump quote, at least that's a phrase that seems a little bit more fringe. So that may be more likely, if someone types it into Amazon, to actually assist us in getting ranked on page 1 and maybe even driving a sale. All right, with the bullets, everything I just said is also true about the bullets as the title, trying to get indexed on additional words and phrases that most likely, given the nature of this exact niche, are going to be extremely saturated and extremely competitive with older products that already have sales history ahead of us. So let's play it safe. Guess what, guys? You can actually do what I'm about to show you. You can go to existing listings that are selling already, and you can just copy the bullets, because keep in mind, this is sold by Amazon merch. I know that has a negative connotation. Oh no, you're copying, but this is an Amazon merch sold by Amazon listing. You're not stealing it from somebody else. This is from Amazon. Also, it's just keywords. You're just signaling to an algorithm, hey, these words that customers may type into the search bar are relevant to our product. And guess what? If we see it from a listing that's already live, we know it won't result in a rejection. So you're playing it safe. This is okay to do. So I'm just going to copy and paste. And then the one part I'll remove is in shades of vintage print. So let's just say USA flag design. All right. And then here we go. They've got another bullet. Gift this to your liberal anti-Trump friends, mom, dad, sister, brother, of course. All right. Paste that. And then description. Let's see what they wrote. All right. I'm just going to copy paste this. By the way, they do what I also do often, which is just for the description, I just copy the bullet 1, bullet 2, and just make that the description. So I will, again, replace the in shades of vintage print with USA flag design. Boom. I like it. And then all you would want to do is hit publish, and you're good to go. Your design is going to be up. If you're in tier 10, you may need to wait a little bit longer than normal, because tier 10 submissions tend to go to manual review. If you're out of tier 10, you should have that online very quickly. So that's it for what I wanted to show you in this video. It did go on longer than I expected. I hope this was a valuable tutorial. If you liked it, all I ask, hit that like button. Let the YouTube algorithm know. You guys know the drill. Also, if you're not subscribed and you made it this far, it would be awesome if you hit that big red subscribe button. I'm talking print on demand Amazon merch, FBA, KDP, dropping income reports, basically trying to be transparent about the journey and how to achieve more success, bringing on good people like our friends at Detour Shirts for interviews. So if you like the video, guys, hit that like button, subscribe. Thank you so much. I'll see you tomorrow.
Passive Income School is open. Enroll now at ryansmethod.com. Thank you.